get rich. Let me tell you, it's better than digging a ditch
or being chased by a witch.
There ain't no telling who you might meet.
A movie star, maybe even a Indian chick.
Working at the car wash. Working at the car wash.
Yeah.
Come on and sing it with me. Car wash.
Get with the feeling, y'all.
Car wash.
Yeah. Come summer, the work gets kind of hard.
This ain't no place to be if you plan on being a star.
Let me tell you, it's always cool.
And the boss don't mind sometimes if you act a fool at the
car wash. Working at the car wash.
Yeah.
Come on and sing it with me. Car wash.
Get with the feeling, y'all.
Car wash.
Yeah.
Work and work. Well, those cars never seem to stop. Come in, work and work. Keep those drag machines coming. Work and work. Back in the screws bone. Work. I can't wait till it's time to go home. Hey, get your car washed today.
Fill up and you don't have to pay.
Come on and give us a play.
Get a wash right away.
Car wash. Working at the car wash.
Yeah.
Come on now, sing it with me. Car wash.
Get with the feeling, y'all.
Car wash. Car wash. Working at the car wash.
Yeah.
Come on and sing it with me. Car wash.
Get with the feeling, y'all.
Car wash.
Good evening and welcome to the Good Stuff Live. My name is Dave Sundstrom, and if you enjoy talking about music, movies, mostly TV from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, you've come to the right place. So welcome to one and all. Let me take a look and let's see who is here this evening. I hope everybody enjoyed that little musical interlude from the Brady Bunch Variety Hour. You know what? It doesn't get any better than the Brady Bunch Variety Hour. Although I did see some folks in the chat saying that was Pat McCormick's new torture. That was Pat saying that. Oh my goodness. Pat says it's his new torture song. Welcome to Pat McCormick. It's great to have you here in the chat tonight, Pat. Super fan Pat McCormick, I should say. And we've got super fan Miles High here, super fan Spike Spikerson, super fan Tracy Roth Myers. Oh, super fan Lance Chaffin is here with us. Make sure I've said hello to all of the super fans. Super fan Mike D. Oh, good gravy. I said hello to Miles High already. There's so much to scroll through here. Oh, Tom's asking. Hello, Tom. Asking, where is Steve Sundstrom? Haven't seen him in a long time. I invited him to tonight's live stream, and he could not make it. Here's the deal with Steve. He's got two fairly young daughters, and as such, they keep him pretty busy over there in that Sundstrom household. Let me go ahead and go back to get back to present time in the chat here and make sure that I've again, said hello to all of our super fans. Superfan Jill Carter, welcome. Good to have you with us. Superfan Spike Spikerson, welcome. Let's see. Superfan ENC, aka Retro Serial, welcome. Good to have you with us this evening. So many super fans with us. Awesome to have you here. I also see Rob Aiken, Nick Mamonis, John Myers, Mike Silva, Rob Curatolo, Karen Lee is here. Karen Lester is here. Rosemary, Raja 1938, Mike Vivian, Gia Johnson, Jonathan Myers, Gary Carpenter, Thresh Pondo Pons, Emily Miller, Susan S., Julie Miller, Lamont Bradford, Brent, Sarita Abney, Roxanne Willie, Patrick Harris, you know the thing? Oh my goodness. Scott Barnes. There's someone I would like to get back on the live stream. Scott, I'm going to be hitting you up next week. If it would be so awesome to have you back on the live stream, but if not next week, we'll figure out another time. I miss talking to my buddy. Let's see who else is here. Shannon Burns, John H., James Dye, Steve Hart. I think, you know what, I can't. Dolph Quick is here as well. TJ921 Abel, Jerry Gillespie, Patterson Brown. I saw my buddy Steve Tevis, The Life and Sad Ending is here as well. David C. Tom McCluskey, a.k.a. The Hungry Jerk, is here. Ben Adams, Allo Duarte, Danny Staten, my buddy from South Carolina. Great to have you here as well. I think that's good for right now. Let's stop with that. I do have a couple of guests that I've invited to tonight's edition of the Good Stuff Live. And by the way, here's what we're going to be doing. Tonight is all about TV theme songs, and most of you probably saw the poll that I have going right now, and it looks like most of you voted. And now with 95 votes, what is your favorite decade for TV theme songs? It looks like the 70s. For a while there, it looked like the 60s. We're going to run away with it, but the 70s have it. 42% of the vote. So that's kind of where I was thinking too. But the 60s did have some awful great theme songs as well. But without any further ado, let's do this. First off, that is the topic this evening. TV theme songs. It was a topic that was suggested by none other than this feller. Television historian, all around great guy, Justin Aylett, also known as Blackadder or Braidwood Inn. Did you have any other YouTube handles that I've forgotten, Justin?
That might have been the only ones on here.
Okay.
I can't really remember. Maybe at the very beginning I had. I don't know. Something else with planes, trains, and automobiles. I think.
Those are the two that I remember.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah. And also I have with me this evening my good friend from Southern Utah, ENC, a.k.a. Retro Serial. Awesome to have you with us as well, Ian.
Oh, I'm glad to be here. It's been too long, Dave.
It has. I've been experimenting with different formats,
Right.
kind of, trying different things. And one thing that I do know is I know that I want to continue from time to time, at least, having guests on for no other reason than it's just a fun opportunity for me to visit with friends. So
Stay in touch, right?
yes,
Fun opportunity to stay
exactly.
in touch.
Had a good time visiting with Pat last week on his very first live stream.
That was awesome.
And I'm hoping that in the not too distant future, I get a chance to do that again. Mr. McCormick is going to be more often than not, I believe, live streaming on Wednesday evenings now. So, you know what? We have a full week, Ian, of live streams.
Right.
So you can plan your week around live streams now, particularly if you're a fan of the live or the good stuff. You've got you got ENC on Monday nights over on his Retro Serial channel. On Wednesday, you got Pat McCormick doing his thing. And then Thursday nights, at least for the foreseeable future, that's when I will be doing my live stream broadcast. So, there's a lot of great live streams over the course of a week that people
got to get
can
a
miss.
Tuesday and Friday going or something.
We got to figure something out, at least for Tuesdays. Friday night is, we should all go out and take our wives, significant others, or ourselves out to dinner. But But Tuesday we got to figure out how to fill that void.
Maybe old Thrash Pondo will pick up on the slack and
That's
do
what
some
we need.
over
We
there.
need a thrash Pondo or those glitter boom girls, right, man? Get those
Yeah,
glitter boom girls
they
live
like.
streaming.
Actually, I'm going to be on their podcast in next week. We're going to be doing a Star Wars episode. But I mean, God willing, creek don't rise and all that stuff. But but they just do the podcast. They really, I mean, they like it. They've told me that, doing the podcast, they don't have to be camera ready, so they just kind of can roll out of bed and do it.
I get that.
So yeah, but I wish they would. We've all encouraged them. We've all encouraged them. So
Yeah, they seem to be pretty good on the camera when they did their the ones that on your stream. So they're definitely able to.
yeah, they are. I think that they just to do it on a regular basis, I think was just kind of a little too much for them. They just like the audio format.
It's easier, right? There's less you have to worry about when you're just doing audio only. But
Yeah.
But you know what? I think I was talking to Pat about them the other day, and they're articulate and they're well versed. They know their pop culture. They're awesome.
Yeah.
And it was a great find on your party, and I would know nothing about the Glitter Boom Girls if not for you.
Well, expect more of that. I got a few other people that I've been contacting and try to get them in the loop. Just, interesting interviews that I want to do with people that have YouTube channels or podcasts or whatever.
I love it. I love it. That's the great thing about this. It's like we're all contributing in our own way. And one of the things you definitely are doing, Ian, I think you're the bravest of the souls in terms of reaching out to people and getting them on your live streams or in just, hour-long videos that you've been doing. And Justin, again, thank you to you for reaching out to me and saying, hey, let's do this topic. It's one of my favorite topics. I love TV theme songs. And so I've challenged all of you guys to come up with a top 5 list. But before I do that, let's ask the group at large what their favorite TV theme song is, and we'll get some answers here real quick. So, folks, we want to know. We want to know whether it's from the 50s, 60s, 70s, or 80s. We want to know what your favorite TV theme song. It doesn't have to be one with lyrics. It could be theme music as well if it's just music. But let us know what it is, and we'll put it up on the screen here and get some. Let's hear what everybody's saying. Let me scroll up. Oh,
I see 2 of my spoilers already are on there. I'm not going to say what they are, but
don't say them yet. Don't say them, Justin.
Somebody's mentioned them already. So.
Not all of my theme songs that I wrote here have lyrics though, so they're just
mine are 5 of them are instrumental.
Yeah. Oh, 5 of 5.
Well, I picked 10. I couldn't whittle it down.
Oh yeah. I got a few honorable mentions too. So.
Okay, let me see. I got to find the beginning of this where I asked the question. Allo Duarte says HR Puffin Stuff. Great theme song. If you're a fan of Saturday morning television, that is a good one. Pat McCormick says he's never camera ready. Ha ha. No way. Carl Smith says theme from Barney Miller. Great music. I mean, the minute I read that, I hear it in my head, and that tells you the power of music, right? Tuck Graff says the Beverly Hillbillies. Oh, Allo Duarte. I don't know if you guys remember this one, but Daniel Boone. What an iconic, great theme song.
Was that a television show?
Yeah, with Beth Parker, with Davy Crockett.
Oh.
The theme song went, and I don't know all the words. I can't remember them, but it started with Daniel Boone was a man. He was a big man. Oh, it's great.
I don't really remember that.
Cindy D says Lawrence Welk theme song. Thank you very much. Oh, here's a classic one. Hawaii 5-0.
We put that one right up with Hazel.
Yeah.
Say Hazel is my favorite.
Our friend Mask, more Mobile Armored Strike Command, says he liked the theme from the Rookies. Let's see. Here's a list, a bunch of them from Brent. I'm sensing a theme, a Western frontier theme there with Brent. Tombstone Territory, the Real McCoys, Rawhide. Some of them I know, some of them I don't.
I don't know.
Gary Carpenter wants me to play the themes to Batman, Bewitched, Beverly Hillbillies, Benson, Alice, Addams Family, Munsters, Petticoat Junction, and Green Acres. Mike Silva, I'm going to play later on, folks. If you stick around, we're going to do Name That Tune. But you ain't getting more than 4 to 5 seconds of each tune because that's all the YouTube copyright police will let me do before they flag this video and restrict it in some way or another.
Well,
Mike
hey,
Silva.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
About that opening song that at the car wash. I
About
recognized
the Brady Bunch car wash. Yeah.
Well, I recognized 3 of them. But who is that Tiger dude?
I Rip something or the Rip Taylor.
Was there a reason?
He was a comedian in the 70s, and he was one of their guests. He was a frequent guest on the Brady Bunch Variety Hour.
I see. I was like, what's going on? I'm like, I know Marcia and Peter and Greg. And I'm like, who's this?
And the only reason that one flies by the Google or the YouTube copyright police is it was such a horrific version of the car wash that the algorithm can't pick up on the fact that it is actually, car wash.
That's actually that song, right?
Robert Curatula wants me to keep the quiz fair. I'll do my best.
Ooh.
Guy on a Buffalo theme. That is have you guys watched those YouTube videos? Guy on a Buffalo. Very funny. Rockford Files. Oh, classic Mike Post music. Theme from Taxi. Miles High points out, super fan Miles High, I should say. Hey, Jasper, 1999's here. Good to have you with us. The Peter Gunn theme, one of the first things I actually learned to play on the guitar was that. Great. And I had a friend, I would play that part on the guitar, and he had a kazoo, and he would do the horns piece for Peter Gunn theme. It was great. Worst theme song? Oh, I'm going to ask that later. But we'll get an advance answer. The Logan's Run TV show. No clips from Welcome Back, Cotter tonight, Mike. Let's see. Facts of Life. Another great theme song. I wouldn't be surprised if that's on if you grew up in the 80s, that's one you knew and loved. Night Rider from Lance Chaffin. Superfan Lance Chaffin says Night Rider. Great music. Airwolf, Night Rider again for emphasis. And Miami Vice. Addams Family, Hill Street Blues. Another vote for Barney Miller. Cheers. Oh, what a great theme song that was, right? Popping by to say hi, Mork and Mindy, Greatest American Hero. Loved the Greatest American Hero music. Not Mike Post, or was it? Was it Mike Post? And then Joey Scarberry sang the song, if I remember right.
Yeah, I think it charted with him.
Yep, I did chart. I remember it charting. My friend Scott Barnes says Barney Miller. Yeah, just that bass line you can hear at the beginning of that. Just so iconic. No favorite for Robert, just so many of them are good. Oh, yeah, Buck Rogers in the 25th century. Now, the music, a lot of folks know the music, but there is a version of that music that actually has lyrics.
Oh, man, you're kidding.
I believe if you ever, it was in the feature version film, when they did the feature film, Buck Rogers, that came out before the TV series. Same cast, right? But they kind of have this opening sequence that's kind of like a James Bond sequence with the women in various stages of space futuristic attire and looking all kind of sexy like the James Bond, the James Bond montages that open up movies. And that version of the Buck Rogers music actually has lyrics, if I remember correctly.
I just looked up. It says Buck Rogers theme song lyrics. So
yeah.
I'm gonna guess it does have lyrics. So.
It does.
Cool.
So you don't hear them ever in the TV show, but Danny Staten says the Night Stalker music. Yeah, that's great. I don't remember the theme music. Oh, Believe It or Not. I was going to say that Ripley's Believe It or Not. No, but you're talking about the Greatest American Hero. Yeah, right. Thrash for sure. Let's see. Love is All Around. The Mary Tyler Moore Show. You're going to make it after all, girl. The music from Dallas. Avengers. Avengers as in Tom, I'm sure is referring to Patrick McNee and Diana Rigg, the BBC program. Johnny Quest. Lost in Space. Lost in Space. Anybody know who composed the music for Lost in Space?
Nope.
An iconic movie soundtrack. Probably the greatest of all time, if you ask me.
Lalo
Who is the
Schifrin.
greatest of all time? Who do you think of when you think of
Oh,
movie soundtracks?
The
John
guy-
Williams.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, it was? Wow.
Johnny Williams, if I remember correctly,
Wow.
was the guy behind the Lost in Space music, or at least part of it. He also composed a version of the Gilligan's Island theme song, a version that was not used.
That would have been cool to hear.
Yeah, Lancelot Link. Oh, Pat says High Chaparral. Nice. A-Team. Yeah, love that music. David C says Gilligan's Island, Wild Wild West. Oh, so good. Fall Guy. I love that song. That was a song that actually charted. Justin, speaking of songs that chart,
I'm trying to recollect. I can't remember that one.
it's Lee Majors singing. He talks about being a stuntman. The song is called The Unknown Stuntman.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll look it up later.
Yeah, check it
song.
out. There's a full-on video version on YouTube. Let's see, the Jeffersons, the Flintstones. Karen Lee says James Dice's greatest American hero. I'm surprised we haven't heard this one before. Maybe I missed it. That song is great.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the
and
one
that
I
charted.
actually had too. I had a 45 of it.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to find it. I couldn't find it to bring it on to show you, but it's by Steve Carlisle, and it was on a
Yeah.
45, and I played it a long time ago. But
Do you know what
Yeah.
was on the B side? Do you remember, Justin?
oh, it's another song by Steve Carlisle, but I think it's on YouTube. You can find it on YouTube, what it is.
The thing I love about WKRP is first off, that song. I love that theme song. Not in my top 5, at least today, but I do love that theme song. But I love the music that they play at the end of the show too. That is, I think Steve Carlisle composed that as well. But it's just he didn't have words for it, so he just started saying like rambling things, and it makes no sense at all. But it's perfect. It's perfect for those end credits.
It's great, yeah.
Yeah. Battlestar Galactica, Fall Guy, Unknown Stuntman. By the way, the Buck Rogers, the Fall Guy, Battlestar Galactica, I think Glenn Larson had a hand in helping with composing all that stuff with a guy named Stu. I can't remember his name, but they kind of co-collaborated on that stuff. Life and Sad Ending says 3rd season, John Williams version. What was that, Ian?
You mean Glenn Larceny?
Glenn Larson, yes, sir. He never met an idea he didn't, someone else's idea that he didn't like, right?
Right.
Love the dude.
I did too. I couldn't help that. That was on Toy Galaxy at one time.
Yes,
The guy said
I've
that.
heard that one before. And it's true. It's true. Glenn was always inspired. And I was so grateful for that because for me, Glenn, there'd be a great movie or something really going on with pop culture. And the next thing you know, Glenn Larson has got a TV show that's kind of like it.
Right. And you're like, hey.
Star Wars, you had Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
Tron came out and there was that Auto Man that was just like Tron.
Yeah.
There's always, to me, I think it was kind of like an homage more than anything else. Let's see. What else do we have? Jill Carter says, My Three Sons. William Tucker. This is the first I've seen this one. And that one surprises me too. Three's Company.
And that changed a lot. There was like 4 different versions.
Yes, there was.
Oh, wow. I didn't know.
Yeah. The early one it didn't sound anything like the later one.
Wow.
The Bugaloos. They're in the air and everywhere. Abby Kim Stewart says Star Trek, Mod, Good Times. Here's another one I would expect to see a lot. Dukes of Hazzard. That was such a popular song, and that one charted as well.
Number 21.
Yep.
I wrote that one down.
All right. Well, let's do this. Let me hang on a second here. Let me hide that. Let's get rid of this for a minute. And let's see. Hang on a second. super chat alert. I did see a super chat in the. I've just got to find it here. This is from John Collins. I just got to track it down somewhere. Hold on. This is the problem when you have so many. My friend Danny Staten would say I need a moderator, and that's probably true because, we lost Justin.
Oh,
Hopefully he'll come back soon.
says he's audio only.
Oh, is that what it is?
Oh,
He's still with
no,
us?
I
There he
moved.
is.
I'm having a really bad USB issue.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
I'm
It's
still
back
trying to
together
track
now.
down. John Collins had a super chat, and I'm still
You got
trying
to get a
track-
co-host on here. I do that
Yeah,
with-
yeah. Gonna
you know
have
that
to do
that
something.
StreamYard has the ability that your co-host can
I
bring up stuff
do. As a
up.
matter of fact,
Yeah.
Pat McCormick set me up as a team member
Oh, cool.
for him to help out when needed. Here we go. All right. Sorry that took so long, folks. John Collins says, "Hello, Dave. I've been slacking on my good stuff wardrobe lately, and you've been stealthily updating your store, so I purchased both Batman styles and the Charlie's Angels t-shirt." Well, awesome. I'm glad you did, John. And also, he's asking if the MP3 of the stupid stocking stuffer song is different than the video. No, it's pretty much the same thing. It might be, I can't remember. It may be just a tad bit shorter, but it's fairly similar. If you there's no need to purchase that unless you want to add it to like an iPod or something. And so, but thank you for your support, both with the super chats and also through the t-shirts and the other items that I have for sale merchandise wise. Truly appreciated, John. Thank you so much. He's a super great fan.
Yeah, he
and
is.
I need to, let's find a little bit of, he had requested a while back that I do a super chat thank you with Betty White. And it's taken me a while to find the right one, but here it is, John. This one's just for you, buddy.
Why did this have to happen to me? I haven't anything else to live for.
And the winner is Sue Ann Niven.
Ladies and gentlemen,
All right. That's exactly how I feel. Those super chats come in, and it doesn't matter how rotten or horrible I'm feeling. All of a sudden, I feel phenomenal. So thanks again, John. I did notice a couple super stickers I want to say thank you to. So let me scroll down and get to those real quick.
Yeah.
Sparky super sticker says the SWAT was it sure was great theme music. And let me see what else we have here in terms of super stickers. Sparky again says Perry Mason had good theme music. Absolutely. Not only is Perry Mason a great theme song, but Ozzy Osbourne has a great song called Perry Mason. Nothing to do. I think they do incorporate a little bit of that music into but it's very much its own song, but I love it. Let's see what else we have here. Scrolling through, there's so much to scroll through. Sparky says, yes, Mission Impossible. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I just bought the vinyl Mission Impossible soundtrack. I love it so much. By Lilo Schafran, I think is the way you pronounce his name. But I ran across that in a used record store. It wasn't too expensive. And I said, I got to have that for my collection. Let's see what else we got here. And Sparky, I got to thank you coming your way in just a minute. I want to make sure I'm just getting through all of the super chats here. Let me do a thank you to you, Sparky, for those super chats, and then I'll come back here. Let's go with I'm a fan of this the Austin Powers super chat. Thank you. Particularly, he was Austin Powers made I don't know if any of you saw the Super Bowl commercial with Austin Powers, but it was great.
Yeah.
I have created the ultimate weapon to defeat Austin Powers. Bring in the fembots!
Thank you so much for your support, Sparky. Truly appreciated.
Right.
Let me see. Can I get back to the comments? No, I've got another super chat I need to get to. This one's from Laura Estrada, who says, Wonder Woman is by far the most entertaining theme song ever. Oh, I love that theme song. It's just, I can't even begin to describe the joy that I feel when I hear that song. She says, Underoos, eagle-wearing toddler devotee I was back then in my satin tights fighting for my rights. First time here. Good stuff. Absolutely. Thank you for the super chat, Laura, and thank you for the wonderful comment, sharing your memories with us. So
Thanks for stopping by. Awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Let me find something special I can throw Laura's way
All
here.
right.
I'm going to go with Fred. I have to go Fred.
You are special.
All right. Thanks so much for your support, Laura. Truly appreciate it. And thank you again for sharing that wonderful memory. All right. So, guys, I said that we were going to be talking. I challenged each of you to come up with a top 5 list. So let's do. I know maybe you guys might have like a few you don't like as well, but let's start. And Justin, since this was your idea, I'd love to start with you, kind of working through your top 5. And again, folks, if this list ever changes, one of the things I've told these guys is it doesn't have to be definitive. We're not holding them to it. If tomorrow they hear a song and it's like, oh wait, that's in my top 5. Well, it's in their top 5. But tonight, this is your top 5. So, Justin, why don't you work us through that?
Okay, so I know a lot of these, all of them were mentioned except for 2 already. I'm scrolling through the comments,
Okay.
and actually, you mentioned one of them. So, but I had to whittle them down. So I'm going to do the first one you mentioned is the closing for WKRP. That's actually one of my favorites. I love that. It's like 25 seconds, but it's great. It's so great. It's just really heavy from the opening. It's just complete opposite. And then the gibberish lyrics. It's just really funny. And they would always cut it off. And when I watched reruns, it would always like barely near the end, and it would just cut off.
Right. You know what always made me mad was when they would, you know how sometimes on network programming there'd be an announcer that would come over and talk on top of the closing music. Yeah. I hated that. And I hated it in particular when it was a song I really enjoyed listening to. My family doesn't understand, but even today, I love to listen to the opening theme songs, and I enjoy watching the closing credits of songs. I don't skip through that stuff. It gets me it formats the disc. It gets me ready for the show. And it made me so angry particularly with WKRP, because that was just great 25 seconds of pure bliss. That's the only way I can describe it.
Anything in syndication, it would be like, and next on your 10 o'clock news, and it's like, shut up, I don't want to.
Exactly.
You're ruining the song.
Yeah.
Pat says, I'm thinking he's talking about what we're talking about here. I'm hoping. He says the perfect rock song. It really is. 25 seconds of just pure perfection. In your face rock and roll with lyrics that just don't matter.
No. So the next one I picked, it was just cool growing up in the 80s, being a kid, and just the sound of it was cool, was the Knight Rider theme song.
Oh yeah. It really kind of like, for the 80s, it just sounded like the future, right?
Oh yeah. It was definitely 20 years ahead of its time, at least. Like Back to the Future stuff, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So then I have two that definitely people mentioned a lot, which were Barney Miller, instantly recognizable with the bass. That's definitely in my top 5. And
That one I think I could almost, Justin, I almost think with just the one note, the one bass note,
oh yeah,
I could get it if I had to name that tune.
Probably, yeah. I don't think there's no other theme songs that start with that one.
Right.
One of my favorite shows is Cheers, and definitely that's a great theme song. The long version is funny too. The lyrics are a little more extended, and I think it was actually on the radio too.
That's one of the things I loved about when these songs would actually be, you get the version that was playing on the radio. Typically, they'd expand it out. You'd get a more fuller version of the song.
Yeah.
And that was always enjoyable. Totally agree. Yep. The long version of Cheers is great.
Yeah. And then the last one, boy, it's tough because I had to get rid of a few I really wanted to put on there. Probably the early 2 seasons, or the first 2 seasons of Gimme a Break. I always thought it's just kicked into high gear, and they only did it for the first 2 seasons. It got really weird after that. They changed it. But the first 2 seasons, you had Nell Carter was singing it, and it was just a great theme song.
Nell Carter.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was great.
Love Nell Carter. I did a video on her.
Yeah.
And she just was such a force for good, and so full of energy. And that was a great show, and it was a great theme song. Thanks for remembering that one and pointing it out.
Yeah, those were the episodes with Dolph Sweet, the old man. He was great in that show.
He sure was. Sure was. Ian, your turn. Top 5, my friend.
All right. Coming in at number 5 is the A-Team. That is just a powerhouse song.
Dun, 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 dun. Yes.
I mean, talk about getting that adrenaline pump, talk about getting the testosterone going. We're going to build something. We're going to blow some people up. Nobody's going to get hurt, and it's going to be great. So, yeah, I like that song, the A-Team. And coming in at number 4, Miami Vice. Love the Miami Vice theme song. That was a great song. You know, going undercover. Nobody knows who you are. You're drug busting. You're pulling out badges. You're driving cool cars. You're wearing white coats with tan-colored T-shirts with no tie and no socks. And I mean, it's just the best. So that's number 4 for me. Coming in at number 3 is Cheers. Cheers is just a great kind of a homey feeling. And I think they were going for that as well. You know, you just felt at home when you heard that song. It was just kind of a time to relax and a time just to, you're just with, you can imagine yourself just with your friends hearing that. Coming in at number 2, the greatest American hero. Who doesn't love that song? I mean, that is an amazing song.
That was a runner-up for me. Yeah, I almost put that.
Yeah, and I have a few.
The lyrics are so perfect for the show, right?
Right. I have to run through a few honorable mentions that didn't quite make it on my list. Magnum P.I. thought was a powerhouse song. Different Strokes, of course. Perfect Strangers, Silver Spoons was really good. But coming in at number 1, and I'm sorry about this, I really didn't know that it was only going to, I didn't see your poll until later, but I had to pick one from the 90s.
Sure.
And Friends.
Oh,
Friends comes in at number 1
that was
for me.
You know what? It's such a good song, right?
Yeah.
The Rembrandts.
Yeah, it was all over the radio.
And it was all over the radio. I bought the CD.
I bought the tape.
So yeah.
I bought the tape.
Yeah, it's great. Did you mention? Did I just space out? Did you not mention Family Ties?
No.
Really? You're not even just the music?
Really?
He doesn't like Johnny Mathis? No.
That's my worst song.
You love
in
that
the world.
show.
I love
You
the show.
love that show, Ian.
I love it, but I hate that song. It's just too
Okay.
sappy. It's too sentimental. It's too sappy. I have to turn it down. But the problem is I turn it down, I see it, I still sing it in my head because I know that it's playing. Yeah, I am
That's
not
right.
a fan of the theme song at all.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Couple super chats I got to get to. First off, superfan Dave Claroni said, and I'm surprised I haven't seen this one mentioned at all, but the music from Night Court.
Kind of a
Iconic.
jazzy thing.
Yeah,
Jazzy
very
thing going on.
jazzy. And I thought I saw another. First off, let me take care of that super chat with a little Archie bunker dance. Thank you so much, Dave. And here is a question from John Collins in the form of a super chat. He says, Dave, has anyone seen the new Bel Air? Because it is an awesome reimagining it. Have you seen it yet? Dave, I know it's new school, but give it a chance. So here's the truth is I have seen the previews and wasn't going to give it a chance.
Okay.
But John, if you recommend it, I'll give it a chance. I will watch the first episode and see. My problem is I actually really did love the Will Smith version and struggle with the idea of this being a kind of darker, more serious interpretation of the Fresh Prince. I know Will Smith is involved in the show, but I just struggled with that. But if you say it's an awesome reimagining, so I'm willing to give it a chance. Justin, Ian, have either of you watched the new version of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air on Peacock?
God, no, I've not. I have so much that I'm watching right now that it's just really tough. I don't know who's going to play me in the movie of my life, showing me struggle through the television shows I have to go through. But I didn't dislike the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air the first time, but I didn't love it either. It wasn't like one of my favorite shows. So when I saw this kind of a reimagined, gritty kind of version, I would give it a shot for sure because you never know. But yeah.
They stepped into a lot of serious episodes on the original. I remember quite a few serious ones. So
it would similar to what happens, right? You have these serious themes in comedies, but this is it does appear to be like not a situation comedy at all, but rather a dramatic reinterpretation. Even more so than think about how the Brady Bunch went to the Brady's, even more serious than that kind of thing. So we'll see how it goes. I'll give it a shot and I will report back.
It's kind of like if they turned Scrubs into ER,
right?
Basically, if you're watching the new Scrubs but it was just like ER. That's what it looks like. I haven't seen it yet, so but Or what were you gonna say? Sorry,
I was gonna say, did you know that there was actually a situation comedy? I think it came out the year before ER on NBC on CBS called ER.
I heard about that. I've
Elliot Gould.
Elliot Gould. Yeah.
And it was a comedy, right?
It was a comedy. Yeah.
Oh.
It was like Elliot Gould type humor. I mean, it was it was a little drier, I think.
All right, let's throw a little love John's way here. Let's see. It's been a while since we've had Kato and Robin duke it out. Thanks for your support, John Collins. As usual, you are awesome, my friend. All right, let me go to my list here. Let me get my list. I actually have a deck here, and we're going to do a little trivia while we're going through my list.
Okay.
So let's see. Let me add this to the stream. Let's see how this works. There we go. How could I not? How could I not, in the number 5 position, have the song, probably the first TV theme song that I remember as a kid. And it was, it was easy for me to memorize the lyrics because it was simply na 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 Batman. And I would go around the house. My mom made me a little Batman cape. I would just run around the house as a little kid, singing that theme song, driving my mom absolutely freaking bonkers.
I can picture it.
Okay, so here's let's I'm going to try to get caught up on comments here. And let's see if anybody knows these questions. Let's see who can answer it first. Which TV theme song composer performed at Woodstock? I'm going to watch the comments.
Goodness.
Dave, you said the Batman TV, but it's kind of on the same topic. But one of my favorite songs is Bat Dance from Prince from the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's just a crazy song, all kinds of sound bites and stuff. And it's
yes. You know what? I was so nervous about Prince doing music for the Batman movie, but the way they kind of mixed it in with the Danny Elfman soundtrack, it was perfect.
Yeah.
I bought the soundtrack. I loved it. We did get an answer. The first person to answer that question, I believe, was John Shapanik. And he says John Sebastian, which is the correct answer here. Let me go to it real quick. Good job. Good job, John Sebastian. Great song. Welcome back, Shapanik. Nice work, my friend. Okay. Coming in at the number 4 spot for me, Gilligan's Island. Yes. I love that. It's one of those theme songs that I still have committed to memory in my head. And the great Sherwood Schwartz was responsible for the theme song. And so I'm thinking about the ones that are most impactful to me in terms of like remembering them as a kid. And that's why Friends would be on there, Ian, if I was trying to think of like across my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
But this list really is kind of my kid list.
Yeah.
Really quick.
Do you know the last verse to the song or to their theme song or no?
The extra verse, you mean?
Yeah, the one that they play the ending credits.
So join us now each week, my friend. You're sure to get a smile. That one was 7 stranded
Castaway.
Here on Gilligan's. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, and tonight on the news, coming up on the news. Yeah.
and by the way, did you know that you can sing Amazing Grace to Gilligan's Island too? Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found.
Well, I do know there's a song called Stairway to Gilligan's Island, which is the music from Stairway to Heaven with the words from Gilligan's Island. Have you ever heard that?
Wow. No,
I haven't. It's by Roger and the Goosebumps. It's great. It's on YouTube. Check it out. Search Definitely. Roger and the Goosebumps Stairway and you'll find it. Dave, superfan David Caroni, this is a super chat, so thank you very much, Dave. Asks if I have any pictures of me dressed as Batman. I know I have pictures of me holding Batman items, like a Batman radio, wearing a Batman t-shirt. I think the only picture I have me dressed as is one when I was in probably in my late teens dressed as the Joker. So one of these days I'll have to dig it up and post it in the community section. But thank you so much for asking, Dave Claroni. Yes, I loved being Batman or pretending to be Batman. And my parents, they spoiled me and fostered a kid with just a crazy, wild imagination. Let me do this, Dave. Let's find the perfect one for you. Yes, Pat McCormick, it's coming. It's coming.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me.
And if that weren't enough.
Thank you very, very, very much.
Thank you, David. Let's get to the next trivia question here. Let's see here. What TV song or which TV theme song was sung by the mother of Robin Thicke? This is an 80s one. Ian. Which TV theme song was sung by the mother of Robin Thicke?
And it's an
And
it's an 80s TV
yep.
song.
And let me think. I think I've seen the first answer right here from my. Nope. There we go. Let me scroll up. Make sure I got the first one. I have to keep it moving away from
It's the
me.
Facts of Life.
Yep. Right here. I think this is the first answer. John H. got it first.
Yeah.
Facts of Life. Sung by, let me go here. Let me move this forward. Sung by Gloria Loring. Who I believe the song was actually co-written by her then husband, Alan Thicke, and sung by her. Alan also had a hand in writing another great theme song, Different Strokes, as well.
Oh, wow.
Did he have a hand, Justin? Do you know if
that.
he had a hand in writing the Growing Pains theme song?
Oh, I'd imagine probably, huh? I don't really know, but you would think if he did the other two.
Yeah, you would think. You would think. Pat, by the way, Pat McCormick says he's having a Welk attack. Call the doctor.
Right.
Oh, and Danny, God bless him. He puts up with the Welk too. He's not a fan at all of the Lawrence Welk stuff.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep moving. My third choice is MASH. I love the MASH
about
music.
that one. Oh my goodness.
To me, that's my parents would watch the news at 10 o'clock, and they would have this like perfect segue from the evening news as it was ending to MASH, in that they'd kind of mix in the sound and you'd start hearing the music, and they'd use their green screen technology on the newscast so that you'd see the opening of MASH as it was kind of zooming in on it. Just very cool, and love the music. Did not love the actual lyric version of it, just because I don't relate. But
dark,
dark. But and I mean I get it, right? But I do love the music, and it has nothing but fond memories for me whenever I hear it. It looks like we got a super sticker from Tracy Rothmeyers. Let me find that super sticker. See if there's any wording attached to it. Nope, just a sticker. But thank you so much, Tracy Rothmeyers, super fan Tracy Rothmeyers. Very much appreciated. Always love all of your contributions to the community, your comments, and your interaction during our live streams. They're great.
Someone is trying to embarrass me.
Thank you so much for your support, Tracy. All right, one final question.
That's a heart for Tracy.
She is beloved here in this community.
Yeah,
so
she is.
Absolutely.
Very much.
All right, one more question here. Let's see. Aside from Cheers, and this was a great question, Justin. By the way, kudos. All these questions came from Justin.
Oh, that's why he knows all the answers.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But this is a great one. I didn't know the answer to this one, and certainly wouldn't have known it if I hadn't seen the answer provided to me by Justin. But aside from Cheers, what other TV theme song did Gary Portnoy sing?
Was it?
Let's see. I'm going to see if folks can get it. Here, I'm going to look here. I got to scroll up. This is a tough one. We're getting a lot of no ideas. Wait. I saw the answer, and I think it's a repeat. There it is, right there. John H. got it again. John H. Well done. Another reason to have a moderator one of these days. I've got looks like right above John H. here. I've got some sort of bot pinging my thing. So let me block that bot. But yeah, Punky Brewster. Hey, Justin, have you watched any of the new Punky on Peacock?
I actually watched the first 2 episodes just because when I was a kid, I used to watch Punky Brewster. But, I mean, it's not as good, obviously. I think it was more of just like a one series. They ordered it for 10 episodes or something. It was good to see that I think 2 of the casts, though, were back.
Yeah.
Her and her friend. that
Right.
played the original. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
watched the
good to
first
think of.
episode. That's the only one I've watched. I might go back to it. I didn't dislike it. I thought it was fun to, and I
Yeah.
thought Solil. I always say her name wrong, but Solil Fry. That's my best way to
Yeah.
pronounce it. I don't know, but I thought she was really good in it. I thought it was fun to see her as a grown-up version of Punky.
Yeah. Actually got into his voice was more reminiscent of Punky Brewster. And then when I was like 10, I started watching Cheers and stuff. And, oh, that's the same guy, you know?
Yeah. Well, great question.
So-
Great question. Let's go to my final two theme songs or music that I enjoy in Happy Days. Not the first season with Bill Haley and the Comets Rock Around the Clock, but the actual Sunday, Monday, Happy Days theme song is
Right.
one that just gives me joy every time I hear it. As you guys know, anybody that watches the videos on my channel, you know that Happy Days is one of those shows that I really enjoyed during the mid 70s. And number one, coming in at the number one spot, of course.
Of course.
Of course.
I could have guessed.
I
thought it was either going to be Batman or Andy Griffith for number one. But
Yep, the Andy Griffith. You know what? One that I missed. I probably should. It's been mentioned in the chat, but the Star Trek music I love too.
Oh yeah.
To Justin's point, we were going back and forth through email earlier today. There's 15 to 20 that I could just rattle off the top of my head, but this one probably it's called "The Fishing Hole" is I think the actual name of the song. And there are lyrics to it, but the whistling version is the one that again makes me the happiest when I hear it. So
now, Dave, I was going to ask you something. I wanted to get through your 5 first.
Yeah.
But the other song that I thought you might have picked for the same gentleman was the invention of the slide whistle, the Matlock theme song.
Oh yeah. Yes.
With the middle slide whistle part. I always thought that was great. It was,
maybe if I was going to include kind of 80s music, again, I kind of stuck with the stuff that was resonated most with me when I was a kid. That, but there are, as we've talked about, like Skip here, for example, brings up one that I love. I love the Dukes of Hazzard song.
Mm-hmm.
I do love the music from Matlock. I do love the Joey Scarborough and Mike Post's Greatest American Hero music. There's so many good songs out there. And you know what? It's one of those things that I'll just get on my soapbox for just a minute. It's so sad for me to see shows today, to watch like a show and to see them play a 10-second little music clip or sometimes nothing at all to start the show. That was an art. Creation of the theme song.
Right.
It had a purpose. It had a point, and getting rid of that so that you can put more commercials in a. I'm sorry. It's just it's sad. It's sad to me that's there's already too many commercials in a half hour or an hour television program, and certainly they can afford a 30-second spot for some music.
Yeah. Even old shows, they put truncated versions of the theme when they show it in reruns.
Yes.
And that drives me nuts too.
Drives me crazy. Drives me crazy. All right. So guys, I didn't come up with any that I totally did. I have one. I'll say one that I dislike, but is there a particular theme song that you dislike immensely? Ian, apparently it's Silver Spoons, but is there another one? I'll start with you and then we'll go up to Justin.
Family Ties.
Yeah. Oh, did I say Silver Spoons?
Yeah, you did.
Family Ties. Yeah.
The other one that's a little cringy is the Who's the Boss. I don't really care for the Who's the Boss.
Oh yeah, that was a little sappy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I just don't like the sappiness. It's just it's so sweet that I'm sure I'm going to get diabetes by listening to it, and I just can't. Anyway, so those two are. I mean, there's probably more, but those two are just. Yeah.
That's one of the hallmarks of a 80s sitcom theme song is the saccharine sweetness of it.
It's so bad.
You didn't see that in the 60s and the 70s. They
No,
were
you didn't.
cute, but they weren't as saccharine and as sweet as what you got later on in
And I
in
think
the
I
80s.
think Family Ties kind of kicked that off.
They may have.
I mean, it came out in 82, and then you started getting the more saccharine, sweet kind of music for these sitcoms.
Yeah. Justin, how about you, bud? You got one that you really dislike?
Well, I didn't really think of any, but then when he said Silver Spoons is kind of really just sappy too. I didn't like that one at all.
That's true. Silver
It's
Spoons
just-
is too.
It's
Yeah,
like,
that's the
we're-
one I was going to mention, and then as I'm, I telegraphed it as I meant to say Family Ties with Ian, but yeah, there's some of those ones in the 80s. There's another one. We Got It Made. It's an 80s sitcom that played in the early 80s. I'm trying to think of the name. Terry, what's her name? Played the actress, or the actress that played the lead in that. I'm drawing a blank on her name right at the moment. But We Got It Made has a horrible, horrible theme song. It looks like just someone they just pulled out a synthesizer, a keyboard, and just slopped something together.
We Got It Made. Is that a sitcom?
It was a sitcom in the 80s starring Terry. Help me out, people. Terry Copley.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Terry Copley.
Two guys. They have girlfriends, but they have a live-in maid, this sexy live-in maid. It ran for one season on NBC and then was canceled, but they came back in syndication.
Yeah.
Thanks, folks. I can always count on the chat to get the answers.
I don't think I ever saw an episode.
You may not have. It was NBC, was right there around Family Ties time. It may have even been on the same night for a while.
Yeah.
But
well, if it was on the same night, I wouldn't have known nothing about it because Thursday night was blocked out for me. I mean,
well, no, it was the same network.
Same network. No. Thursday night was Cosby, Family Ties, Cheers, Night Court, and that was my Thursday night. I looked forward to it every Thursday during the 80s.
Maybe it was a Monday. I can't remember, but yeah. And then it was moved from NBC to syndication. So not great. Horrible theme song. I did a video on Terry Copley not too long ago, and I talk about that exact thing that the theme song was horrible.
What about Fathers and Sons?
What's that from?
It's a show called Fathers and Sons.
I don't remember Fathers and Sons.
It lasted like 4 episodes. It had the guy from Little House on the Prairie who played he played the Reverend in Little House on the Prairie, I think.
Okay.
And he was on this I really liked the show when it came out, but it only lasted like I can't remember how long. But the theme song, oh gosh, yeah. If you listen to the theme song, it is just horrific.
Well, there you go. So let's do this. Mike saying, Dave, this has been fun. I'm not ready to wrap it up. We've got a little bit of fun to have. We're going to play a game here in just a minute.
You do have a super sticker. Did you know?
Oh, I do have a super sticker. I got Tracy's. Is that the one?
It was after Tracy's. But I don't know. It's your show.
Well, if we can find it, I gotta show it. I just can't find it. So I see Tracy's up there.
It was a little. Well, I thought it was well, if I was wrong, it seemed like a new guy too. So
darn it all. I can't find it. If either of you can figure out who it is, just even let me know who it is. That would be great. Or they can tell us in the chat if it's them. Yeah. If I haven't recognized a super sticker, let me know and I will recognize it. Just let me know in the chat, folks. We've had so many people tonight participating in the chat. It's sometimes hard to catch it all. But let's do this. I'm going to play a quick video about the February edition of Remind Magazine, and then we will come back and we will do some trivia fun. So here we go. The February 2022 edition of Remind Magazine takes a look back at Hollywood's golden couples. The greatest movie duos on screen and off. No surprise to see Bogart and Bacall on the cover, but I can't wait to crack this thing open and see who else they cast their spotlight on. And while I wouldn't argue with any of these selections, I do have a favorite here. Can you guess which one it is? If you guessed Cary Grant and Grace Kelly, you would be absolutely correct. I love that movie. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The time capsule section is one of my absolute favorite parts of this magazine. Premiering on TV in 1957 was one of my all-time favorite shows, Leave It to Beaver. It's hard to believe that back then the minimum wage was just $1 an hour. Of course, that is the equivalent of $9.44 in today's dollars. Lots of good stuff in this 4-page section of the magazine. I must admit that I had no clue that comedian Red Buttons had ever won an Oscar. Man, this page is jam-packed. You've got trivia, more Hollywood golden couples, and yes, I did love Peck and Hepburn together in Roman Holiday. And to top things off, you've got little Dennis the Menace. The punchline is cut off here, so let me fill in the blanks. Dennis is saying, "Are you people going to mush right through lunchtime?" As always, there are oodles of puzzles to work through. 12 action-packed pages of crosswords, word searches, Sudoku, and more. And along with that, you get this full-page pinup of another great Hollywood couple. They've done it again, another fine, fine edition of Remind Magazine. Like they say, the past truly is a blast. I will post a link to the magazine's online subscription form in the description section of this video. As a reminder, I am not receiving any sort of financial compensation for this video from the good people over at Remind Magazine. I'm just a huge fan of their work. Alright, now it's your turn. Do you have a favorite Hollywood couple, on screen or off? Let me know in the comments section. Also, I'd love a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and would be honored if you would consider subscribing to my channel. I talk about music, movies, and mostly TV from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. You know, the good stuff. But most importantly, and as always, thanks so much for watching. All right, I did find one here, Ian, from Mike Vivian. He says, "What about Speed Racer?" Great, great theme song. You know, I first was introduced to Speed Racer on MTV in the 80s, I think, late 80s, and loved the old Go Speed Racer. I know it came out in the 60s, but that was my introduction, was in the later 80s when it was on MTV, and I loved the whole Speed Racer music. Thought it was great, got into the show, loved the storytelling. I didn't love the animation all that much. I really struggled with the Japanimation stuff, but I did watch it and enjoy it and love the music and love the stories. So great suggestion. Either of you guys watch Speed Racer?
Oh yeah, for sure. I loved it. That animation was a little different. Of course, I was kind of getting used to it because there was a Nickelodeon was starting to play some Japanese cartoons there early. There was a show about a dog named Sebastian, and it was Japanese style done. So yeah.
I never saw Speed Racer, but I didn't watch tons of cartoons. So
there you go. Either of you watched the Speed Racer movie by the Wachowski brothers?
I did not.
I love that thing.
Did you?
It bombed at the box office. Well, Ian, you can't trust me. I'm the Batman Returns guy. I love Batman Returns, but I love Speed Racer. You know, if you
have you watched Batman Returns lately?
Oh, many times. It's my go-to of the Keaton Batman movies.
Like
I prefer it to the.
He's not in it, is he?
He's not even in it.
Like 10 minutes or something.
Yeah,
oh,
seriously.
No, he's great. He's great. It's awesome.
You can look it up. He's in it for like 25 minutes of the whole movie.
Here's the thing. I love the entire cast of that movie. So, and you could argue that the first Batman movie should have been called Joker, because I mean, Batman's screen time versus Nicholson's screen time as the Joker is also not equal. But anyway, let's say thank you to Mike here. Let's ask Robin Williams to say thank you to him.
Grazie, gracias, danke, merci, spasibo, arigato gozaimasu.
I do have another super chat I need to get to here real quick. I thought I saw one from my buddy Scott Barnes. Oh, and here's a super sticker from Danny Staten, Partridge Family. How could we leave them out? What a great. Come on, get happy, people. Thank you, Danny. We'll throw a little love your way in just a second. And Scott Barnes, thank you so much for the super sticker, buddy. Truly appreciated. Truly, truly appreciated. Like I said, we got to get you on. We got to get you on a future live stream again. I miss the Scott and I early on in the channel when this channel was just in its infancy. We had a little video we would do once a month called Wide World of Sodas. And we'd go to this place called Rocket Fizz at the Gateway Mall in Salt Lake City. We'd buy these weird sodas, and then we would test them on video and then talk about music or something. Movies, too. It was a lot of fun, and I miss those. I miss those moments. I don't actually miss work, Scott, just in case you're wondering, but I miss those moments immensely. So got to get you on a live stream. And thank you so much for the super sticker. Let me throw a little love these guys' way. Let's do Shatner.
No, I thank you. And again, I thank you.
Followed with a little bit of Adam West.
Thank you. 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 Thank you.
And now we've got also a new channel member in Laura Estrada. Thank you so much for becoming a channel member, Laura. Truly appreciated. I got something special for you. I've been holding out on the Grimley all night. I think Pat hates the Grimley almost as much as the Welk. Here we go.
That was the best thank you so far, I must say.
Can you do thank you for your support in the Ed Grimley voice for us, please?
Thank you for your support, must say.
I love
this is like the best show ever, I must say. I'm so happy to be here. Make a guest appearance. I'm like the best guest ever, I must say.
I love it. All right. Thank you, Laura. Let's do a little trivia fun. Let's see how folks do. Here's the rules. These song clips are going to be 4 to 5 seconds long. I'm going to pause it after the song clip plays, and I want you guys to just keep track. There's 20 of them.
Ooh, 20.
At the 5 question mark, I'm going to ask for scores. At the 10 question mark, I'm going to ask for scores. And then we're just going to blitzkrieg all the way to 20. And then I'm going to get final scores.
Do it.
Yes. So here we go. I hope everybody's ready. You got to you're not even going to have time to put them in the chat. You might if you're really, really fast, but you're probably just going to have to kind of keep track of how many you're getting right and keep track of your scores that way. Just kind of lock them in your head, in terms of the answers. So here we go. Let me add this to the stream. Make sure we start correctly here. All right, folks. I think the volume's good enough, but have your volume at a good level. Here we go with song clip number 1. Okay, I'll pause for a second, just give people enough time to think about it, just a teeny weeny bit. And here's the answer. Love Boat. Here's the second one. And the correct answer is Hawaii 5-0. Pause it for just a second while people think about it. And then let's keep moving. I Dream of Jeannie. These are mostly 60s and 70s. That was 4, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Hogan's Heroes. Bewitched. All right, I'll pause it there for a second. Let's get scores. I want to see how everybody's doing. Justin, how are you doing so far?
3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. All right. Ian?
4 or 5.
Nicely done.
I thought Hogan's Heroes was Gomer Pyle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could see where you knew, you remembered it being a military show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good job, both of you. Karen Lee Maloney, 5 of 5 so far. Let's see. So we get some more scores here. Scott Barnes, my buddy Scott, 5 of 5. Ken Wilkinson, 5 of 5. Thrash Pondo, your good friend, our good friend, I should say. Thrash Pondo Pons, 5 of 5. John H., 5 of 5. Emily Miller, 5 of 5. Rocking it tonight. Emily KH, 5 of 5. Julie's got all 5 so far. Karen Lester, 5 of 5. Shapanik's got 4 of 5. Pruitt's 5 of 5. Ben Adams, 5 of 5. Libertube is 5 of 5. Tom McCluskey, I expect no less than 5 of 5. Kimberly Wiederhold, 5 of 5. Superfan Mike D, 4 of 5. Cindy D, 4 for 5, or 5 of 5. Evie 202, 5 of 5. David C, 5 of 5. David Kerbau, 5 of 5. E. Scott Jones, 5 of 5. Doll Quick, 5 of 5. Nick Mamonis, 5 of 5. Double B, 5 of 5. I should say double B. That's how you would say that. Al Odawardi's 4 of 5. Superfan Spike Spikerson's 4 of 5 so far. Daryl Johnston's acing him. Our buddy Danny Staten's got all of them so far. Superfan Nancy D, 4 of 5. Lamont Bradford, 5 of 5. Let's see. It looks like Jill Carter has got them all so far. Julie Miller's got 5 of 5. TJ 921 Abel, 5 of 5. Spanky McAllister, 5 of 5. Superfan Tracy Rothmeyers, 5 of 5. Sakina McMurrin, 5 of 5. Todd McCreary, 5 of 5. Michael Way, 3 of 5. Jan Koza, 4 of 5. Scott Barnes, 5 of 5. Kimberly Wiederhold, 5 of 5. I'm seeing some repeats here. Raja 1938, 5 of 5. Rich Atwood, 4 of 5. Parker Luck, 4 of 5. Herb Craven, 5 of 5. Going to stop here with Raina, 4 of 5. Everybody else, I'll do a complete readout at the end, but we got so many people playing that we better just keep moving. Let's go to this next set of 5. Here we go. That was a show the old man watched an awful lot. And actually, I was talking about what came on after the news. Before MASH, that was the show that would come on after the news, earlier on in the early 70s, late night on our local KSL network here in Salt Lake City. That is Gunsmoke with James Arness. Let's keep moving.
Here's the story of a lovely lady who was bringing up 3 very lovely girls.
That is the equivalent of your free parking or free space in the middle of bingo right there. Nobody better miss that one. The Brady Bunch. A little more difficult than the Brady one, but I think a lot of folks will know that one. Taxi. All right. That was 4, right? We've done 4 more.
That's 4.
Okay. And the answer to that one is Fantasy Island.
Oh, man.
And let's get one more in. Love that music. Love that music. Oh, it's already started to show. Charlie's Angels. Okay. All right. How are you guys doing? Justin, how are you?
Well, if I can have that Charlie's one for free, I'm back up to a 70. So 7 out of 10.
Sure, there you go.
Okay.
7 out of 10 for Justin. How are you doing, Ian?
I on this last one, I missed 1.5. That Charlie's Angel one I got right as it was coming up because it was in my head.
Well, if you got it, then you got it. So what's your score now?
So 8 of 10.
8 of 10. Nice.
I missed Gunsmoke.
Yeah, Gunsmoke was probably the toughest one of that bunch.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can see some scores here. We'll just do a quick handful of scores. Karen Lester's 9 of 10. Kimberly Wiederhold's 8 of 10. Superfan Laura Estrada is 6 of 10. Mike Silva, 10 of 10. Superfan Lisa Fields. Welcome, Lisa. Good to have you here. 9 of 10. The Evie 202, 8 of 10. Todd McCurry, 10 of 10. Nick Mamonis, 9 of 10. Superfan Nancy D, 7 of 10. Superfan Jill Carter. Looks like she got them all again as I read through those. Jan Koza, 8 of 10. Daryl Johnston, 10 of 10. Ben Adams, 10 of 10. Oh, Emily missed 1. That's okay. That's all right. And Spike Spikerson, our super fan Spike Spikerson, is at 7.6. I love the precision. All right. Here's what we do. I'm not even going to stop. We're just going to blitzkrieg through to the end here. So there's 10 more. And then I'll ask you how you guys did once we're done. Ready?
Ready.
Set. Go. If anyone misses that,
yeah,
I'm going to be very, very disappointed. Oh,
she's beautiful.
Beautiful lady. Bonanza. Loved that music as a kid. Used to. When I first did this one, I got this one wrong. I thought it was Emergency. I don't know, but it's Adam 12. Get smart. Love that music. Had to buy the album when I saw it.
Love the reboots too, by the way.
Yes, so did I.
Boy, the way Glenn Miller played.
Songs that made my hit parade.
All in the family. This one's a tougher one. Mork and Mindy.
Oh, man.
Who can turn the world on with her smile?
Mary Tyler Moore. It's you, girl. You should know it. Saturday morning fun. A little bit of a hint. This is the toughest one, I think. Secrets of Isis. This is it, the final one. Chips. Just did a video on those guys. All right, let me take that off.
Oh, wow.
Guys, you got your final scores?
That's embarrassing. This is the topic I suggested, and I got 13 out of 20. Oh my goodness.
I don't think that's an embarrassing score at all. Quite frankly, I think that's great. And given that, you're a little bit younger than I am as well, so I think some of those from particularly some of the Western ones might have been a little bit more difficult for you.
Yeah.
Ian, how about you?
Not very good, Dave.
What was the final
I
score?
started really crashing at the end there. Really. So I got 13 or 12 and a half because I give myself the half on the
We'll
Charlie's
round up.
Angel.
So
All
you,
right,
you guys both did 13?
There was a couple I recognized, but I just couldn't pin it. I couldn't pin the Hulk.
Yeah.
The Hulk guy, like, what is that one? And then, like, I know it, but I just couldn't pin it. So,
right.
And then I got a couple of them just plain wrong. So, 13. I really started crashing at the end there. Adam 12. I didn't know that one. Mork and Mindy, I thought was Mary Tyler Moore, and Mary Tyler Moore, I didn't know.
Mary Tyler Moore is kind of the sappy one too. Like
it is a little bit sappy.
I thought
I love that song,
girl or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see some scores here. We got KH with 13 of 20, David Kerbau 18 out of 20, Double B 18 out of 20. Julie Miller, 17 out of 20. Emily Miller, 9 out of 10. Must have come in a little bit late. John H., 17 out of 20. Nicely done. Robert Cortola says, Dave, I suck. Well, hopefully at least you feel like it was fair. You were the guy that challenged me to keep it fair at the beginning. David C., 17 out of 20. Ben Adams, 17 out of 20. Nick Mamonis, 17 out of 20. Let's see. Daryl Johnston got 18 out of 20. Michael Way got 14 out of 20. Cindy Pruitt got 6 out of the 10 that she was here for. Karen Lee, nicely done, 17 out of 20. Herb Craven, 18 out of 20. Our buddy Thrash Pondo, 18 out of 20. Superfan Mike B, 17 out of 20. Michael Vivian, rocking it with a perfect score of 20 of 20. Lamont Bradford, not too far behind, 19 of 20. Mike Silva, 20 of 20. Superfan Tracy Rothmeyer, 17 of 20. Raja 1938, 17 of 20. New superfan Laura Estrada, 11 out of 20. Cindy Pruitt, 16 of 20. TJ 921 Abel, 18 of 20. Spanky McAllister, 20 of 20. Hungry Jerk, 18 out of 20. The Evie 202, 14 out of 20. So what was your final score, Scott? I know Adam 12 was tough. Like I said, I thought that was emergency the first time I heard it. Emily Miller's final score was 18 of 20. Liberty Bay must have got 19 out of 20. There were only 20 there. GC got 15 out of 20. Kenneth Wilkinson, 17 out of 20. Dolph Quick, 17 out of 20. Sakina McMurran, 20 out of 20. Hang on a second. Sakina, I got something special for you and all those other people that got 20 out of 20. Where is it? Got a little something here. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. Yes. The confetti. Nicely done, Sakina. Matter of fact, I'm going to keep that up for a minute while we go through some more of these scores. Let's see.
It's 1999.
Here. Yeah. Karen Lester, 15 out of 20. E. Scott Jones, 16 out of 20. Scott Barnes rocking it tonight. I kind of expected you to do well, 18 of 20. Ben Adams, 17 out of 20. Jan Koza, 15 out of 20. Robert Curatolo says, hey, my brain still hurts. Kimberly Wiederholt, 14 out of 20. Alo Duarte, look at that. Lots of ones and zeros, but it works out 16 out of 20. Cindy D got 19 out of 20. Richie Atwood, 17 out of 20. Hey, have a good night, TJ 921 Abel. Great to have you here. Parker Luck was 9 out of 12. Daryl Johnston, 19 out of 20. Miles Superfan Miles High, 16 of 20. Superfan Lisa Phil, 17 of 20. Tom McCluskey got 18 right. Nicely done, Tom. Jerry Gillespie got 15 out of 20. Superfan Laura Estrada says, my brain totally hurts, but it was good. It was good. And she got the Mork and Mindy one. That was a tough one. Very tough. Emily Miller got 17 out of 20, she thinks. All right. Corbett, a.k.a. Zadzu has got 16 out of 20, and Mike Silva got 20 out of 20. Good job, Mike. All right, let's get rid of the confetti. Let's get rid of that. Justin, buddy, I love the suggestion. Thank you so much for suggesting that we do TV theme songs tonight. It's been awesome. Are you tell me? I know you at some point are looking at maybe doing some stuff on YouTube, but have you done anything, or is there anything over on your channel right now?
Well, I had videos on there, and then when I took that break for a couple months, I took them all down, and then I have to put them back up. There's one with Thrash talking about Christmas Vacation that I had up there. I'm going to redo it. I'm going to try to get back into the streaming maybe this summer, hopefully.
Okay. Well, make sure you keep us in the loop, and so that we can keep an eye on your efforts.
Sure.
Ian, I've always got an eye on your channel. This is a little bit old in terms of what's currently over there on Retro Serial, but tell folks what's going on over on your channel and what you're working on.
Yeah, please check it out. Please subscribe. It would mean the world to me. I'm only 9 away from 400, so another milestone, and we're still working towards that 1,000. And we're also still working toward getting me the 4,000 watch hours. But I'm really doing really good on the watch hours. I'm ahead of a lot of people who have.
Yeah, I think with your longer videos, that should be something.
Yeah,
should be doable.
I'm working on 5 things you didn't know about Who's the Boss.
Awesome.
Actually, next, and things are a little slow right now because just personal issues. Kind of have to go to the hospital at this point every day right now for treatments. So it's just I didn't quite get as many videos out last week as I normally do. But I'm still working on it. Gonna do as much as I possibly can. Just things come up right now. So
well, here's what I'd say is, obviously there are things in life that take precedence over creating videos. I look forward to your Who's the Boss video, but I'll tell you more than anything else, your Monday evening live streams with Thrash Bondo are just phenomenal.
They're a lot of fun. Man.
I really encourage folks to get over there on Monday nights.
Yeah, I look forward to those every week, and I have a blast. And I just love the fans' interaction with each other and with me, and it's just not a dull moment. Even last week we did for Valentine's Day we did TV TV couples, and me and Thrash at the beginning of that we're like, look, I don't know what's going to happen. Like I don't know if we're even going to have any time.
And yet we were all there. I was there.
Well,
Pat
it wasn't.
was
Yeah, I
there.
didn't know if we were going to be able to talk about it. Yeah, I was like, okay, but yeah, I went for like an hour and 15 minutes or something like that.
Time.
So
that's when you were dissing my Batman Returns comment.
Yeah.
Well. Yeah. Folks, you got to hit Ian's live stream on Monday nights. It's phenomenal. It's good stuff. All right. So here's the deal, folks. What I'm going to do is the live stream is officially ending with me saying thank you to every single one of you that are here tonight, that have been part of this community, that have been engaging. Thank you so much for all the super chats. Truly appreciated that kind of support. I can't tell you how much it means to me, but also just it is so much fun to see the level of conversation that happens in the chat and the engagement. And, it's a great, I complain about not being able to see everything that's going on there because there's so much, but it's a blessing to have that level of engagement. So thank you to everyone that has hung out with us for an hour and a half this evening. I love all of you and I truly appreciate your support. And I just hope that everybody has a great evening. Now, if you want to stick around, folks, once we're done here, I'm going to play a handful of videos so that you guys can chat a little bit more if you want to. Those videos will probably run 25, 30 more minutes, but I'm going to say so long to my guests this evening.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it.
One more time, thank you to everybody for joining, and thanks, Justin, and thanks, Ian. Have a good night, folks.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
We're seeing eye to eye with you today in every way. The way we live, the way we love, the way we laugh and play.
We've got the touch, America. We're coming on with all the best. We've got the touch, America. UNCBS.
You're tuned to us, we're tuned to you. It starts to touch you through and through. Touch of laughter, a touch of tears. Friends you've loved for years.
We've got the touch, America. We're coming on with all the best. We've got the touch, America. UNCBS. We've got the touch, America. We're coming on with all the best. We've got the touch, America. UNCBS. New shows are coming to touch you through and through. We've got it together, CBS and you. Laughing and romancing, drama that's the best. You'll stay on top with CBS. We've got the touch, America. We're reaching for the sky. We've got the touch, America. We're seeing eye to eye. We've got the touch, America. We're coming on with all the best. We've got the touch, America. UNCBS.
Hey folks, if you're enjoying this live stream, be like the Fonz and give it a thumbs up. Hey.
Hey folks, you found GSTV. That stands for Good Stuff Television. We celebrate entertainment from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. You know, the good stuff. And the cool thing about GSTV, you never know what's coming up next. Dynamite Magazine. During the late 70s, this was my go-to publication if I wanted to learn about what was currently the next big thing in pop culture. Just look at all of these amazing covers. The Fonz, John Denver, Steve Martin, Donnie and Marie, Battlestar Galactica, and the Incredible Hulk. Yep, I know there's more covers here, and I could call them all out. But let's talk more about the magazine for a moment. According to Wikipedia, Dynamite was a magazine that was published by Scholastic from 1974 until 1992. The magazine changed the fortunes of that company, becoming the most successful publication in its history. The first issue, Dynamite number 1, was dated March 1974 and featured the characters of Hawkeye and Radar from the television series MASH. The final issue, Dynamite number 165, was dated March 1992 and featured actress Julia Roberts and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now here's my earliest memory of Dynamite magazine. Truthfully, I can't remember the issue that I got this amazing poster out of, but this King Kong 3D poster was an object of fascination on my bedroom wall for years. It came with 3D glasses, of course, and when you put them on, it really did seem like those planes were in front of and behind Kong. Really great stuff. Of course, it wasn't the posters that kept me buying the magazine. Yeah, I really did want to know more about Shields and Yarnell. And the return of the Brady Bunch? Well, heck yeah, tell me more. There was just something magical about this magazine. I have read that it was available in some major cities on newsstands and even by subscription. But the way that I got my Dynamite fix was at school through the Arrow Book Club. About once a month, my junior high school teacher, hello Mrs. Marks, would pass this thing out and expect it back within a few days with a buck or two. Not sure if our teachers got a kickback for being a shill for Scholastic books. I sure hope they did. Anyway, so after I turned in my order form, I'd wait. And wait. Yeah, and wait some more. There was no prime shipping back in those days. Seriously, it would take around a month for your books to arrive. And when you're a 12 or 13-year-old kid, well, that's cruel and unusual punishment. Dynamite was so popular that other companies wanted in on it, wanted a piece of the action. The one that I really remember was Pizzazz magazine. It was an attempt by Marvel to replicate Dynamite's success. You know what? Stan and team, they did a pretty good job. One of my favorite Pizzazz covers was this one, featuring the greatest Superman of all time, Christopher Reeve. Yep, the trademark Marvel humor was there. Apparently it wasn't enough though, because Marvel gave up on this publication after just 3 years. Scholastic, on the other hand, well, they knew how to milk a good idea, and so we got Bananas magazine, a similar publication, albeit slightly more irreverent. There was also Wow magazine, which was aimed at a younger elementary school audience. Bananas magazine was edited by a guy named Jovial Bob Stein. His wife had, for a period of time, edited Dynamite magazine. And Jovial Bob, as it turns out, well, he had a thing for the macabre, which would later propel him to become one of the most popular authors of young adult fiction ever. Yep, we're talking about R.L. Stine. Once Stine began writing humor-laced horror for young adults, there was no looking back. TV shows and movies followed, but we're not here to talk about Stine. Let's get back to the topic at hand. So in addition to the amazing articles, Dynamite would often showcase superheroes. If memory serves me correctly, the Superheroes Confidential feature was somewhat agnostic in that one month it would showcase a DC Comics hero, and the next month we'd get one from Marvel. I loved that I could finally read comics in school. Yep, I felt genuinely sneaky cracking open an issue of Dynamite and learning all about the Fantastic Four. I also loved another recurring feature called Bummers. These cartoon gripes were actually real-life submissions from kids everywhere, and if you got your bummer published, well, you were set for life because Dynamite would send you a crisp $5 bill. There were usually 6 bummers in each issue, so yes, Scholastic actually got a page of their magazine written for a whopping $30. Of course, they still had to pay someone to draw the pictures, but I'm thinking those guys got a great deal. Smart like a fox they were. I also loved Count Morbida and his monthly puzzle page. What I really loved was how upset and angry he would get when I solved his puzzles. Yep, the magazine knew exactly what they were doing. Month after month, I would work on my problem-solving skills, all while thinking that I was just having fun. These skills would later prove invaluable throughout my entire life. Thank you, Dynamite Magazine, and thank you, Count Morbida. I've already talked a bit about that really cool King Kong poster that I got out of Dynamite Magazine. But the magazine, it was really kind of like a cereal box with a neat toy buried at the bottom. Posters, trading cards, and other cool things were often tucked inside of the magazine. Yep, I said it earlier, and it's true. It was truly magical. Alright, one last picture. This time of a cover featuring those creepy Sleestack characters from that iconic 70s kid show Land of the Lost. Yep, Dynamite Magazine just seemed to be in tune with all of the stuff that I really loved. Such great memories. Now it's your turn to share your memories in the comments section below. And while you're at it, if you enjoyed this little journey through time, please consider giving this video a thumbs up. Or maybe sharing it on Facebook or Twitter. And what the heck, why not subscribe to my humble little channel? I talk about music, movies, and television, mostly from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. You know, the good stuff. But most importantly, and as always, thank you so much for watching.
Charlie's Angels will return in a moment.
We're digging in. We're digging in. America's digging into planters.
Americans who love digging into snacks dig into Planters, like Planters mixed nuts. Lots of everybody's favorite fresh roasted nuts.
Working hard and having fun. Planters nuts are America's #1. We're digging in. We're digging in. America's digging into Planters.
There is an inexorable force in the cosmos, where time and space converge, where the here and now may be forever. An unavoidable whole, moving through space, swallowing everything in its path. Now, man is about to enter the black hole.
Tomorrow on 2020, Michael Jackson, a star at 10 and a superstar at 19. How does he keep his head straight in an unreal world? Plus, an update on Elvis's death. Is there a cover-up? And millions of fans await the arrival of the Enterprise. Tomorrow on 2020.
Battlestar Galactica receives a visitor from beyond all galaxies.
This man is some kind of a god.
Demonic messiah with the power of life and death. Then the world premiere movie that tells what it really takes.
Not just sex.
To be a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader.
Tomorrow on ABC.
Growing up, TV Guide was my very favorite magazine. More than Boy's Life, and more than another magazine called The Children's Friend. I loved TV Guide. The magazine had been around for a long time before it caught my attention. According to Wikipedia, the National TV Guide's first issue was on April 3rd, 1953, where it had a total circulation of about 1.5 million copies sold in 10 U.S. cities when it was initially distributed. The cover featured a photograph of Lucille Ball's newborn son, Desi Arnaz Jr., with the headline, Lucy's $50 Million Baby. One of the things that was really cool about the magazine was that it was published in digest size, and it remained that way for the first 52 years of its publication. Folks, I can't tell you how very sad I was when TV Guide became a normal-sized magazine. It was heartbreaking, really, because when that happened, I knew that a very special era of television viewing, my television viewing, had come to an end. After all, this was the magazine where I had learned about Bonanza, the Brady Bunch, and for heaven's sake, even Three's Company. And there was something just so darn magical about those covers. This one is a perfect example. Just looking at Bob Denver and Tina Louise here, they look like they're having fun, and I bet this show is fun too. I'm in, I'll watch it, I promise. Well, it turns out, I watched that show on and off for half a century. Heck, I still watch it even today on MeTV. Midway through the 70s, my father realized that the perfect gift for me when he got home from a business trip was a TV Guide from the city that he had visited. I would scour the listings to see what shows were playing in that city that differed from the local programming here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Of course, my favorite issue every year was the annual fall preview. That thing was massively thick, and it was crammed with the most important information that I would need to commit to memory in order to ensure that I was able to maximize my television enjoyment. Hours would be spent reviewing the information about each new show. I distinctly remember reading the preview info about After MASH way back in the early 80s. Seemed like a big winner to me, a ratings Goliath for sure. Who could have predicted that a year later it would be gone? But even more than the previews for each new show, I just really loved looking at the black and white ads for new and returning shows. Often they would take up an entire page, and the words season premiere almost guaranteed that the episode would be a really good one. And although they were not always part of the fall preview issue, I knew that those fall issues would contain much needed information about what Saturday morning programming choices I would have to make. By the way, if you notice that the cereal in the background is none other than Mr. T cereal, well, you, my friend, are probably as nutty as I am about all this stuff. I also enjoyed the TV Guide close-ups that could be found taking up about a third of a page in the listings section. I was too young to remember this one, but holy cow, Batman, it's cool. But I do remember this particular close-up, and oh, was I excited for Kiss Meets the Phantom. The only challenge I had was how I was going to get away with watching it in our home. My father was convinced that these guys were working for the devil. The articles in TV Guide for the most part were pretty darn entertaining as well. Lots of great pictures and not too many words. When you're a kid, the more pictures the better. Speaking of lots of words, if the show being reviewed interested me, I would take the time to read Cleveland Armory's reviews. The guy was usually spot on, like in this one here. He really seemed to enjoy the mid-70s version of Ellery Queen starring Jim Hutton. Audiences, however, were less enchanted, and it never got the ratings that it needed to merit a second season. So what happened with TV Guide? Why is it that the incarnation of TV Guide that graces our newsstands today, well, it looks dramatically different and only comes out every 2 weeks? Truthfully, I think you have to blame this darn thing. On-screen guides and all of the good information that can be found there, as well as the internet as a whole. Yep, any piece of programming information that you might need is just a mouse click away. You can also point to streaming media. No one really needs to know when to watch a show anymore. The question that needs to be answered these days is where can you watch it? And is it on demand? And while the covers of the new version are great, they just don't seem to have the same magic as the old ones. I don't know. I mean, this one's a pretty good cover, and the articles that are teased seem to be good ones. I think the problem is more likely me. Me and my old eyes. Eyes that for whatever reason found these covers more magical. I mean, come on folks, how can you not want to watch a show about truck drivers with Claude Akins? And take a look at this 2-page advertisement for Battlestar Galactica. Amazing Frank Frazetta art. Way cool. Unrelated to all this, the original Battlestar Galactica should have ran much longer than 1 season. Okay, so that's it. We'll close with this picture. Charlie's lovely angels. When they were young, and everyone still got along. Anyway, did you love TV Guide as much as I did? Let me know what you think in the comments section. And while you're at it, I would love a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And I would be absolutely honored if you'd consider subscribing to my channel. I talk about music, movies, and television. Mostly from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. You know, the good stuff. But most importantly, and as always, thank you so much for watching.
Hey, Barn, want to watch Opie cross-examine me? He's been practicing.
Yeah.
Okay? Okay, go ahead, Ope.
Now, Sheriff Taylor, did you not say that Post Toasties have the cornflakes crackling with fresh corn flavor?
Well...
Answer yes or no, please.
Yes.
And didn't you say that from field to flake, Post Toasties never lose their fresh corn flavor? Yes or no?
Yes.
That they're quick toasted to capture that fresh corn flavor. That they're so light and crisp they just about float into your bowl?
Yes, yes, yes.
No further questions.
That's pretty good, Hope. You want him to practice law, huh?
No, I want him to practice selling Post Toasties. Start your day a little bit better with Post Toasties. They're good.
Hey folks, if you're enjoying this live stream, be like the Fonz and give it a thumbs up. Hey.
It's time for a little dance, and here we go.